Good afternoon and welcome to our first proper YouTube video on the Hurdle and Fences channel. We are going to be breaking down Aintree day one selections and just a bit of a full day review really. Trying something new, bit longer form, bit more thought, bit more background to each of the horses, not just a short snappy pick on TikTok or Instagram, so you can actually see what my reasonings are. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into Aintree day one. Right, we will start off with the 4-year-old Juvenile, so effectively the triumph of the Cheltenham Festival. Now, Selma de Vary is a current favourite and did catch my eye at the festival, and a lot of people have been talking about this horse and a lot of support has come for it in the market at Aintree. However, I just don't think it's going to bounce back that well. Ruby Walsh said it very well on the Paddy Power YouTube video they did. She's not the biggest horse. That race will have taken a lot out of her. And he can't see her coming back this early after a race like that. And to be honest, if I'm going to listen to anyone, it will be Ruby Walsh. So that sort of put me off of her. A horse that did catch my eye at Cheltenham and has been talked about a lot by the trainer, and they really think this horse is going to be a big, strong chaser in the future. So I shouldn't have any concern with this horse running here at Aintree on that such short turnaround. Is Manila Study. Jumped the last in front and just sort of got clawed back in up the hill, and to be honest, I think it's tough. I think he went and got to the front a little bit early. Probably could have done with getting there a bit later, but I really do think back on some good ground on a proper flat track, it is going to be a case of she's going to get to that, or he's going to get to that last hurdle first, and I don't think they're going to be able to catch him on that home straight. Now, on the back of that form, so Manila Study is my main pick, but then that means I cannot ignore Amis at an each way price to a little tickle on the side. 33 to 1, Sean Bowen on board. Did run at Cheltenham when he was 12th behind Saratoga, but that big field handicap just didn't suit it. It's come off the flat, it's from James Owen, and that's such a big field, just got it so amped up, and it raced so keenly to start, and then it got bumped around turning for home, and to be honest, it stayed on well up the hill, but I don't think that really showed the best of that horse. To be honest, I think at Aintree on good track, a bit of a speed track, which will suit a horse bred for the flat. I think 33 to 1 is a massive price. And like I was saying, Manila Study, it was 3/4 of a length second to Manila Study at Wetherby in October. So if we're backing Manila Study to win, there is no way I cannot have a tickle on Amis each way at 33 to 1. Sean Bowen on board for James Owen, who does well with these flat horses coming over to the jumps on a proper track that should really suit it. So that's me for the first race. Manila Study, win, and hopefully a little tickle on Amis each way, hopefully sneak in the places, or maybe even win. You don't know. Then we move on to the Grade 1 Manifesto Novices Chase. La Lamba, for me, I see a bit of a repeat of John Bon. Not quite quick enough for that 2 mile, but really shines at that 2 mile 4 trip, which this is. So La Lamba stepping up to 2 mile 4. Which I do think will suit him. The Arkle, I fancied him for the Arkle, but it was just a bit quick. The same way with John Bon, every time he's over 2 miles, I think it is just a little bit too quick for him, and he appreciates a bit more time to measure his fences. I mean, La Lamba has impressed all year. That he won the game spirit, he's won everything else other than the Arkle. It's the only thing you can knock on him. He was second to Poneros in the Triumph, which was just ridiculous at Cheltenham when he was over hurdles. I think La Lamba is a pretty good thing going forwards. And I do think this step up to 2 mile 4 will suit. There's talk of Cocktail Divan coming back from 3 miles. And that will also suit him. But I think it's going to suit La Lamba more. The only one that surprised me of the price is Mambo number 5. You've got to forgive his last run on heavy ground, which you can, because I don't think he's a heavy horse. But he was brilliant on the good ground at Kempton, which is probably fairly close to the sort of ground you're going to get to Aintree and that sort of track, other than it is obviously the other way round, but sort of levels-wise. But no, I think Mambo number 5 at 16 to 1, and Ben Pauling really fancies this horse a lot. I think he said this is one of his better chances at the Aintree Festival, along with Mondui Boy. So for me, Mambo number 5 at 16 to 1 it's a big ask. I'll admit it is a big ask to take on La Lamba and beat La Lamba. But if you don't want to back La Lamba at 8 to 13, but a reverse forecast La Lamba, Mambo number 5 just might be the play on this race. So yeah, La Lamba 8-13 win. I wouldn't go too heavy on it, but I do think he is going to win this. It's probably the nap of the day for me. But Mambo number 5 could just throw an interesting result in there at 16-1. So just keep your eye on that. I'd say probably reverse forecast, Lalamba, Mambo number 5 in the second race would be my, well, that's probably what I'll personally do. Next, we move on to the Aintree Bowl over the 3 miles, grade 1. And for me, there is only one obvious choice. Pic D'Orhy is a bit of an Ascot specialist, and he always struggles when he's away from Ascot. And I just don't think he's going to stick out the 3 miles. I think 2.5 is sort of his maximum trip. Protectorat is a good horse, no, in his own right. I'm not taking anything away from him, but he is now 11. He made hard work of his last performance with a bad mistake. He went off 12-1 odds on favourite, and he only just won it. Even with a bad mistake, he did get back up. But I just think age might be getting on the wrong side of him these days. His last Grade 1 win was March 2024. Spillan's Tower would be my choice of the day, but I don't think he's going to get the ground. I don't think he needs a bit of soft in the ground, and I don't think he's going to get it. They've been talking about how they've been battling this hard weather, this hot weather and this drying ground, getting hard, and they've been watering it, but I don't think they're going to get on top of it. And Django Bay has had such a tough race at Cheltenham in the Gold Cup. Gold Cup horses have such a bad track record at Aintree for a reason, and that is that race just takes so much out of a horse. He's not a machine. He's still young as well. He's only 7, so he's not even a bigger, older horse that could sort of take a few races, which leaves me with Impere Pass. Now, he did also run at Cheltenham, but it was in the Ryanair, where he pulled up after about a circuit and a half, so he gave absolutely no... So his race wasn't left at Cheltenham. I still think his legs are going to be pretty fresh. And I think those fresh legs, stepping up to 3 miles for the first time, other than when he obviously was brought down about 5 fences in. So they know he can stay 3. They've tried it before and he got brought down. They're going for it again, which got a bit more confidence in the fact he will enjoy the step up. And I don't think Mullins would be running him over 3 miles if he didn't think he was going to be capable of it. There's plenty of other 2.5 mile races at Aintree, which are grade 1s, which he could have gone for. So for me, Impere Pass at 4-1 looks the obvious choice in this race. Then we move on to the Fox Hunters, Open Hunters Chase. And I just can't look past Barton Snow. He has been so dominant in this Fox Hunters, this Open Hunters Chase category, that it's just 11-4. The value's still there. I mean, if he was an evens favourite or something like that, I'd look elsewhere because obviously Open Hunters Chase is so open, anything can happen. But 11-4, you're still getting, what's that, just under triple your money. I just don't think you can go wrong with that. He hasn't lost since 2024 in December when he was beaten in a point-to-point, so who knows what happened that day. Could have been anything. But he's never lost in Open Hunters. He's carried near enough 12, well, over 12 stone and near enough 12 stone the entire time. So I don't see any issue in carrying top weight. Unexpected Party could throw in a result. It's on the line. He already beat at Cheltenham. It's just it's on the line classic second horse. Never likes to get his nose in front. Unexpected Party would be the one I would be fearful of. Obviously missed Cheltenham, so comes in with fresh legs, might just make the difference. Because it's one thing you've got to be wary at Aintree is you've got to look out for the good ground. Now, you need a horse that performs on good flat ground and is a bit of a speed horse. And it does help if they've missed Cheltenham. They come in with that bit of fresher legs. If someone's had a tough race at Cheltenham, which Barton Snow did, he battled to the line with It's on the Line. So Unexpected Party, I would be fearful of, but I probably would still side with Barton Snow, to be honest. There's nothing... I liked Golden Sun at Cheltenham, who put in a valiant 4th, but I don't think he's going to reverse that form. And yeah, Snipe has just been such a servant to the game. I would love to see him get up and put in a shift at 28-1, but I just think Barton Snow is going to be dominant again. But Unexpected Party could throw an upset, so I would be fearful. I wouldn't go incredibly heavy on this race. It would be one of my smaller bets of the day. Right, the William Hill Aintree Hurdle. Now, this race was scrambling my brain more than any other race, I think, at this meeting. But I think the horse I've landed on, I'm actually quite happy with. I think he's one of the better bets of the festival. Brighter Days Ahead for me doesn't run well in England. I don't know if it's the travel or what, but she just seems to be a different horse in this country to in Ireland. The New Lion has got his trip. In my opinion, he is a 2.5 miler. He needs every metre of that 2.5 miles. But he just hasn't impressed me. He really impressed me when he beat the Yellow Clay in Final Demand at Cheltenham. But ever since, I just haven't seen that sort of spark where you go, oh, wow, that's a good horse. He's obviously a good horse, but not a special horse. Alexi ran a huge race as a novice, and this good ground and flat track might just suit him even more. Golden Ace, we've all seen what she can do at a big price, but obviously you're only getting 2 places on this race, so I don't think you want to be backing anything each way here. Although, I mean, you can. My selection is each 11-2 currently, so you can go each way, but I would probably just go on the nose with the 2 places, or to do something like an insure 2 places bet, something like that. But El Fabiola, for me, I think is the best horse in this race. By far, on his peak chase form, if you had to just look at pure talent, you would say El Fabiolo is the best horse. Now, chasing didn't go his way. He didn't quite jump as well as people were hoping. And for whatever reason, it just didn't work out. Now, hurdles have sort of brought something back into this horse. And the 2-mile trip has just been a little bit too quick for him. But when he gets on that extended 2 miles, so 2 mile 2, 2 mile 3, something like that, and hopefully up to 2 mile 4, which it is tomorrow, he's just an animal. He won his last race by 21 lengths. He won another, his appearance of the season, he won by about 10 lengths or something like that. But this extended 2.5, well, this 2.5 just extended 2 mile trip over hurdles just seems to really suit him. And I think El Fabiolo could put in a mighty performance here at 11-2. I could see him running away with this race. But yeah, El Fabiolo for me, I think is going to run a massive race tomorrow and turn a few heads over this 2 mile 4 trip. So El Fabiolo in the 405. Right, then we come to the Red Rum Handicap Chase. I would recommend backing a couple horses in this. I've got 2 each way fancies. It's a very competitive field and there's plenty of runners, so there's plenty of places on offer. Josh Stacey made a very good case for a horse called Highlands Legacy, who I actually agree with a lot. He's had this is his first campaign of offences this year and he's been so progressive. Every single run, he's just come on another level. The only things he's lost to this year are Mighty Bandit and Mambo Number 5, who are both running in a lot better races, quality-wise, than this at the Aintree Festival. Every race for the John Joe O'Neills this year, he's just got better and better, and I wouldn't be surprised if he just caps off his season by winning this. Another horse I would like to mention, but does have to overcome pretty much top weight with 11 stone 13, is Brookie. Now, this has sort of been a 2 mile chaser who I think he ran in the Champion Chase this year, and he didn't run in it last year, but he ran in the Champion Chase this year, and he's always been one of those 2 mile chasers that's just not quite at that top level. He runs for Sam Twiston-Davies and Anthony Honeyball, who wouldn't be bringing him here if they didn't think they had a chance. But he really came alive here at Aintree last year when he beat Loda Sud and he was second to Caliph de Burle. Now that form for me is standout throughout his career, but it was just the fact he hadn't really done much up until that point, and just the good ground at Aintree, the track that suits him, just really brought that out of him. So for me, I'm hoping he's going to return to Aintree and it's going to bring that form out of him again, and he could run a big race at a big price at 20-1. So that's my 2 each way fancies for this race, the Red Rum Handicap Chase. Now, 1 race to go on day 1. Then we move on to the bumper, which is anyone's game. Bumpers are so tough to pick winners, so don't go anything too heavy here. It's a bit of a lucky last. So I am going to side with Birds of a Feather here for Max Comley, ridden by Tom Rawton. Now, Max Comley is a fairly new trainer. I think he's new to the scene this year officially, under licensed racing. But he's done quite well with what he's had, to be fair. He had Manganese, who ran a huge race at Cheltenham. I think she was 5th or something like that. But ran a huge race for her money. And Birds of Feather in this bumper might just be another good one that he's managed to pick up. He was running in point-to-points all up until this year. And then his last point-to-point, he won by 11 lengths. He then goes off in a Class 5 bumper and wins that by 19 lengths. So it's one of those horses where it's either going to flop or it's going to run an amazing race. And I'm hoping it's going to run an amazing race. It's one of those where you don't really know a lot coming into it. And you don't really know where its ceiling is. I'm hoping its ceiling is going to be pretty high. And we're going to find that out tomorrow at Aintree in the bumper. But yeah, it could be anything. It's a bumper. Don't go too heavy on it. Nothing silly. It's just a bit of a fancy at 9-1. But yeah, I reckon it's got good potential. It was pretty eye-catching on its debut at Warwick in a bumper. So yeah, 9-1. Hopefully gets his nose in front. That is our day one selections and breakdown. I'll put a graphic somewhere with a full list and it's a couple best bets. Nap of the day. I think nap of the day is probably Lalamba. Best bet, I think I'm going to go with El Fabiolo. I do think he's the best bet of the day. I think he's an absolute class horse at a big price. And best outsider, I think I'm going to go with Brookie in the Red Rum handicap chase. That's my breakdown and selections. Let me know what you think. Get in that comment section and subscribe so you don't miss out on day 2 and day 3.